Hello YouTube and welcome to Allie's Wonderland Creations. I am Alice Seraphin and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Today I have a fun fold card. It is what I'm calling a double gatefold. I saw this online on YouTube, oh my gosh, probably 3-4 years ago. I don't recall who made this fold. So, anyways. I would give credit there, but I have no way of knowing. So it's been that long. I just found it. I keep little folds of cards like this is it. Okay. I keep this in a little container with different folds for my patterns. And I thought, oh my gosh, I need to make one of those. So that is what I am doing. So our stamp set is the Hello Ladybug and the Art Gallery. Hello Ladybug, we're going to be using this. May your greatest wish come true. And hello, this image, maybe this one in these little dots. From Art Gallery, I'm using the Happy Birthday. So I'm setting those aside. I'm going to show you a bit of the card. This is my sample card. My idea. We're changing it up. Everything on the front here is going to be the same. I don't like that this is a strip. We're going to put a full piece of DSP here. And I don't like having this color in here. I really want it the black, white, and red like the Ladybug. So without further ado, let's get going on this card. And by the way, this sits really nice for a display like so. So all right, let me put my whiteboard. I know I didn't read it all, but so we have a piece of basic black and that has to be 5.5 by 12. I'm going to set that up there and set this up there. That's for in a moment. I'm going to bring out my cutter trimmer because we have to do some scoring. So like I said, this is cut at 5.5, and of course it's by 12. So on the 12-inch side, we are going to start by scoring it 2. This is really, really simple. 2, 4, 8, and at 10. So that gives us our card base. Next, we are going to close this up, but we're going to do some marks, and I've got stuff on my hands. Okay. So, boy, I don't like that. We're going to have to keep doing it this side, and then we'll flip it over. Let me give a little hand sanitizer on my hands. Okay. For the card base, I'm going to show you with a ruler how I determined this. Came in like so, and from this point to this point, it is 2. It's in 16th marks, if I'm not mistaken. I thought I wrote this down, but apparently I did not write this down. So I'm going to, yes, it is at 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 16ths. 2 and 5 16ths. So while I'm doing this, I'm going to write this down. Oh, I did. 2 and 5 16ths. So what I did is I came in with a ruler. Have to do it this way. And from each end of the cardstock, I came 2 and 5 16ths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I put a pencil mark. So we're going to do that. Make sure you're doing it from the same. You don't want to do it from there and from here. You want to do it at the very same other end. So 5/16. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, you can put just a pencil mark in the score lines because that's where we're going to be cutting to if you cannot see your marks. I'm like looking for this little mark right here. So I am bringing this right here into the cutting groove. And I'm going to also bring in my mark down here at 2 5/16 to cut. Now, when I get it lined up in there, I'm just cutting that off. Now, the next one, I'm going to do the same. However, I'm going to make sure that I have, this one I had my 2 5/16 of a mark at the bottom. Next, I'm going to make sure it's up at the top in my cutter. And then position from here to here, just making sure they're both lining up in there. And there we have it. It's not that hard. It's just making sure you don't. So we are going to trace it. Let's get my bone folder covered up by my metal ruler that's clanging around. Here we go. And this one goes back. And there we have it. So there is the beginning of our card base. Next, let's go to the more difficult part, if you want to say. To do the panels for here, this panel and this panel, this panel and this panel, you will need 2 strips that are 1 3/4 of an inch by 8 1/2. Now, you'll need 2 strips because you can get both left and right sides from one strip, because you can flip them over and it won't matter. So what I did is at one end, I took my ruler and I came to 5 and I put a mark. Then I came to 6, and let me make sure that I got this right. 6 1/8 and put a mark. Then I came to the bottom of my strip of paper and I put a mark at 3 3/4 and at 5. So next we're going to do is we're going to cut these. And I can use my guillotine to cut this. So I am. So all I'm doing is where I use my ruler to connect the lines, the little marks I made, I am cutting. There's one. There's 2. Now, like I said, it doesn't matter for these because you can, for the real red or any other coordinating color you want to use, because you can flip them over. Next, you're going to do this twice. Now, on the DSP piece, it will make a difference, okay? I'm going to show you that. If you lay your card pieces out, you have those, and you can have these. So you need these flipped over. You can see I already have my next 2, my DSP strips mounted. But if I cut this exactly like I cut this, you flip it over for the other side, you're going to get the wrong side. So it does make sense to, on your second cutting of DSP, to know what you're doing. So I am looking, I'm going to set this side aside for now. I'm watching here, and I know, and I made myself a little cheat sheet like so I could flip it over and say, okay, this is where I'm going to be cutting this one. So I can make my marks from the bottom to here. This next one, which needs to be this way also, now can be turned this way and cut. And I just cut, I know there's a piece there, but that's okay. So that is how I help myself determine, you know, that I get the right angle, because this now will go on this piece and this one will be this piece, and they'll be facing the correct way. So let's go ahead and make these marks. So all you're doing is reversing your measurements as far as top and bottom. On the bottom now, I am going to make my marks, and I have them on this side at 4 5/8. Which I don't need that now, but just to know which way I'm cutting my DSP. 4 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Here's my mark. So I flip this back over and it tells me at 3 1/2 on the other side. So I'm coming up here to 3 1/2, and now I'm going to connect these two marks with a line. So next is my next little cheat sheet that I made for myself, and I know I want it going this way. So the bottom needs to be at 3 1/8, which is right here. The top needs to be at 2 1/8. I think I made that messy. I already messed it up. This piece here needs to be at 3 1/8. So let's erase that. And that one doesn't need to be erased because it'll be cut shorter. So sorry. 3 1/8 on the top. And 2 1/8 on the bottom. And I'm going to connect those marks. I can't even see where I put the mark. I think it's right there. Yes. Okay. So right here and right there. And next I'm going to cut this with my guillotine. And if you look at how it's cut now, it will be correct. And this one will go that way. So first I'm cutting the larger of the two pieces on. There's one. Two. So putting my cheat sheets aside, bringing in my right panel pieces. These are for my left panel pieces. So let's glue these together. After this, I need to go mail my Mother's Day card. I wanted it mailed out yesterday, but we went to the beach at 4:30 in the morning to go clamming. And I came home, and I don't know why, but my gosh, I crashed all day long. I got up, ate dinner, went back to bed. And then I read a book some. And got up this morning like 7:30. No need to do anything because I had to get my grandson off, so don't do much of anything until I get him off to school in the mornings. So there you can see our panel pieces. Next, for the inside piece, this is a little bit different of a measurement. This is 5 1/4 by 3 3/4 of real red. And the next piece is 3 1/2 by 5. So just because of how it looks in the card, and you can see this is a mistake, but I decided to use it it was a mistake. I had to pull it off the cardstock. And when it was all dry and everything, I stuck it. I don't know, I must have a goober in my glue here. Tap, tap, tap. So we're going to glue these together. And then we're going to place everything on our card base. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start with the right side panels. I'm going to get glue on both of these. Bring in my card base. Pick this up before it goes anywhere. And put it where it belongs. And already I can see that my measurements were off. This should have been 1/4 of an inch larger all the way around, and I don't know what I did. But, oh well, here we go. It's going to be this way. It will look just fine. I could come in and make it shorter, but I'm not going to. Making sure these, yeah, I don't know what I did, but it will be just fine. I'm going to have to go back and look at my measurements again, adding 1/4 of an inch. So hopefully you guys are watching the video before you do this, so you do not follow exactly what I did. Either that or I didn't make this mark. Let's see. That could be what it is. Yes, that is exactly what it is. I scored it the wrong. I cut wrong. So let's fix that. Why did I mess that up? 2. Oh, it's at 2.5. 2.5. Let me look at my measurements. Score, cut 2 of the different cardstock. Cut 1 at da-da-da. On the cardstock at 1 3/4 by 1. Next, mark with pencil at 5 at 6 3/4. Da-da-da-da-da. Scallop circle. That's not the part. Cut it to 2 inch. Huh. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just like, you can see what goes on. Mark one at 3.5 with pencil. On the other end, mark with pencil at the 2 1/4. No. Okay. Let me just do this and we will see. Sometimes you just have to I am going to fix this because it's bugging me. Line this one up and we will put it back in the machine and I can see what I did wrong. Am I going to redo the video? No, because you get to see that I make mistakes just like everybody else, but you can fix them. So let's bring back my cutting trimmer here. And I have it upside down. Look at that. All right. So this top has already been this here. And let's see. Now I'm going to be able to measure where exactly. Yep. No, it's 2 1/16, not 2 1/8. It's at 2 1/16 of an inch. Interesting, interesting, interesting. But just that little bit of a difference really. Just that little, yep, okay. So let's finish gluing our panels in. It seems like my goober is gone now. Now they look better. Next, we're putting in our center panel. I don't know why, but I want it going that way. Okay. There we have, our card is now coming together. You could do another panel here if you wanted, but the way it sits, for me, it wasn't necessary. So there is our fold. We have, for the inside piece here, it is cut at 4 by 3 1/4. And unlike this one where I've used colored ink to go inside of here, we're not doing that. I'm going to do a little bit of a background, but I've changed things up. So yes, I know that this video will air, but we have this gorgeous little doily, which now I can see is way too big for what I wanted, but we could do it anyways. Oh, that is too big for what I want, but I really like that idea. I really, really, really did like using the doily. I really like that. What color is this? Evening Evergreen. It almost looks like a basic gray. Almost. But it looks really good. We might just have to use that in there. All right. So before we do our inside pieces, I could use this on the back side to write my message, and that's probably what we're going to do. We're going to change this whole thing up. Okay, I did several ladybugs. Several things we did. I did stamp with Pear Pizzazz this wonderful leaf, and I fussy cut it out, and then I stamped the wee little hello and used an old punch I had and an old piece, but you could flag these, it's up to you. That was just really simple for me to do. We have that piece, and as you can see, I have 3 different ladybugs. I'm going to show you how I did them. I used little scraps of the DSP, and I wanted the ladybug butts to have a little bit of detail on them. So I took, you can do this with dies now. I just happened to have a punch and it was easier. So I took, this happens to be a 1 1/4 inch punch, circle punch. Now I know you can do this one of what you can cut the whole circle out and then cut, you know, a 1/4 of it off, or just stick it in there and leave, you know, a 1/4 of it undone. And that, my friends, is how we're going to do our ladybug butts. So bring a piece of basic strip of black in here. Punch your ladybug. Now we're going to give her her little floral behind. You could do the polka dots, but I liked the other side just to make it different. Just like that, because this is where her wings are going to go. Now for her wings, let me get the stuff I had in here. For her wings, we are using Real Red. And I did, if you look on this wings, it is stamped both ways. You got the red showing from the up and from underneath. So I already did one wing there. I'm going to stamp this one. and punch it out and then glue the two together. So we're going to start at one end. Let's see. Give it a punch. And I'm going to have to do the old Post-it note trick because I forgot I should have flipped it. To go this way, it doesn't fit, right? So Post-it note time. Because let's see. You see that it has to go this way. So I need to cut this part of it off so it'll fit into the punch. Post-it note here, making myself a wee little handle. And giving it a punch. So let's get rid of our little scrap pieces here. And we're simply going to glue our ladybug wings together. Now I know my DSP is retired, but I haven't placed my order yet for new paper in the new catalog. But I will be doing that today when I'm done with this video. So next, I wanted you to be able to see from the top and bottom her wings. So we're simply thumb and bone folded together like you do some ribbon and bring it up. We want them to look like she's ready to fly right off the page. Oops, no, I'm like, that's the wrong way. It's not, because either way you go. So there we go. Next, we're just going to put the glue right here where it will be glued down like so. And let's get this together. The doily idea, not going to work. So what are we doing? Well, we know that we have this, which I used a very old scallop circle punch, but you can use the scalloped layering dies, and a piece of basic black circle behind it, fitting whichever one you have layering your sentiment. But I used punches just for the convenience, and my sentiment is, may your greatest wish come true. And then I stamped the happy birthday from Art Gallery on a strip of scrap that I had. And I am going to, so this piece is 1/2 of an inch. This is 3/4 of an inch. And we're going to do a little bit of stamping here before we get that down. But the idea is this is going to come here. Yes. Okay. I'm happy again with my card. So my hello is going to go right here. That's why it's cut off equally with the red and the white, the real red and basic white. And we're just lining it up right there, not going past our real red, just going to the end of the DSP. I have a ladybug that's totally flat for the inside panel on this side. This one with her wings that I just folded the opposite direction is for the inside, and these two flyaway ladybugs are for the outside of our card. So no dimensionals needed on the ladybugs. So let's glue the one on the left under our hello. Right there. Opens it up. Well, I guess we should do our stamping on our little strip of paper. So I had two things that we were going to use. These little dots here and this little flower, which I wanted to do in real red. And I'm going to need a scratch piece. And I just put one in my recycle bin. I'm going to pull it back out. Scoot our card up and let's decorate this little bit, this little strip. Oh, don't want to So real red it is. Just there. Just there. And then some Memento Black. Just these little dots. Just bringing in that little bit of black and white that our card theme is on. But our leaf, of course, is going to be the Pear Pizzazz. So let's bring this down, glue this strip on. I told you I was changing things up a bit. And I have this going end to end on the 3/4 of an inch strip. I want it down here on the bottom. We're going to glue this down in place. It's going edge to edge with our real red layer. Next, I wanted, well, we have this ladybug coming in up here. Let's glue her down while we have the card out flat. Now, if I was mailing this card, I probably, yikes, wouldn't have the wings. I would probably push them down some so they can go on. I might put that in the center. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, that is cute. But you couldn't open it unless I made it a slider, which I could do, but not right now. So we're going to bring this down. Maybe even, no. I wanted my leaf over here because I wanted my ladybug. On the green. So let's glue our big old leaf down. Now you don't have to use the leaf if you don't want to. I did. I like it. That little pop of color to me just was needed. And we're going to add some rhinestones here. I love this. This one I think we're going to save for the back. I think we are. So let's do this together. And since I've changed my mind altogether and we're now writing our stuff onto the back piece. So cute. I love it. I have, let's see what I have left over. I had a strip. I know I put my real red strip over here. And I knew I had a wee little strip of, I put it back in its thing. We had a strip for the envelope, but we don't need that big of one. So we're just going to cut these. Let's see, is this a strip? That's not long enough. I need a piece from my envelope, which is going to come right down here at the bottom. So let's give it a measurement and I'll give it to you here in a second. 5 7/8 of an inch long. So we're going to cut this strip 5 7/8 for our envelope. It's a quick and easy way to decorate your envelope. And the strip is a 1 inch strip, so we're going to make it a 1/2 inch strip and use the other 1/2 inch strip for the back of the card. So let's glue this onto our envelope first. So there's our envelope piece. This piece, we need a strip. Let's see, this is 3 1/4. So 3¼ and we want a 1-inch strip, should be just fine. And we're simply going to place this in the center of a 1-inch strip and then snip it off with some scissors. And then place this on the back of our card like so. And you'll know this, the reason why I do these little strips and pieces is to extend this scrap bit of basic white that I had in my scrap box. But let's go ahead and do a little bit of these real red flowers on there. And since it is a bit of a larger stamp, we're going to bring in our Stamp and Pierce mat, a piece of fun foam, a piece of chipboard from a paper pumpkin would work. We're just giving it some real red love here and closing that up. We'll probably add, actually I shouldn't have closed it up, we're going to add that to our envelope, and we're going to add some wee little black dots like so. No sense in putting, oh, I guess I could. I was like, you may not see it, but there we have it. And let's glue these down now. So here we go. And our 1-inch strip, I'm going to butt that right up against our basic white and can flip our little ladybug wings up a little bit and have her right there on the back. So sweet. Okay, so that's the back of our cards. This is the front of our card, and we're going to do some bling, but let's do the rest of our envelope. And I'm simply going to bring this in, put a flower there, one up here in this corner, which I could have done better there. Which, you know what, we could go in and fix it, couldn't we? Since it's polymer, it should be quite easy. And on our flap, we're going to go right here. Now we're definitely all done with the real red. Bring in that Memento black. And we're going to add our 3 sets of our 3 dots. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. And that, my friends, is our card. But let's not forget, what do we have that we could bring in? We're going to add some sparkle and shine with our rhinestone basic jewels. Let me get my handy dandy needle. Ooh, do I want to put one on her butt? Not sure. I want a little one there. So we're going to add this one right here. A little one right there. Another little one here. But I don't want to be done just yet. Oh, do I want one on the outside or just on the inside? Nope, I'm going to put, oh, dress up her wings. Definitely. She needs one right there. Our other little ladybug needs a rhinestone. I know who's getting this card. Oh, my girlfriend's birthday is this month. I don't want to say who, but she is receiving this card with all this jeweled out bling. And we need one more rhinestone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that's 7. But it just looks like we could use a few more little things there. And I really want another one on this. See, that had to come. It says pick, choose me. Choose me. So there it is. So there is my double gatefold that sits up like so. Cute, huh? Look at how cute that is. And the back is just as darling. Sometimes things just work out and sometimes they don't. Here is our lovely card. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I have enjoyed making it, even with my little mistakes, figuring that out. So, I hope you give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make a comment. Let me know. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I am so happy. I know it may not seem like a lot to y'all, but for me, it means more than you know. So happy crafting, YouTube. Take care. Bye-bye.